Liberals don't listen to a lot of radio, and they don't watch television. That's what NBC President Bob Wright told conservative talk show host Tucker Carlson a few weeks ago. Is he right? Or is filling the airwaves with right-wing propaganda simply turned off progressive viewers who can't stomach another 10 minutes of MSNBC? One thing is certain. The mainstream media, with its parroting of White House spin, focus on celebrities, and gutless fluff stories, has done immeasurable harm to our democracy. It's sad because I always thought of journalists as the good guys, the Jedi Knights of public policy, defending us against an evil empire of corporations and corrupt politicians. Information is power, and that power now rests almost exclusively in the hands of about 6 U.S. corporations. It's no wonder progressive media feel underfunded and overwhelmed. Even the Pentagon has now sullied the profession of journalism by infiltrating the Iraqi media with journalists' clones who churn out propaganda supporting the U.S. occupation. That decision damaged the prospects of a real democracy taking root in Iraq. Unfortunately, many progressives have simply given up on the media, and that includes important groups like the Sierra Club, the ACLU, and the AFL-CIO. How can their dream of justice, fairness, and peace penetrate the corporate media juggernaut? Instead of joining forces to put pressure on advertisers or invest in new media, too often they try to go it alone. The result is inevitable. The internet alone will not save democracy. Americans, the people who theoretically elected this government, obtain their information from multiple sources, especially television. This monolithic chart shows which media served as the public's primary source for information about candidates in the 2004 election. Like it or not, television still dominates the political landscape. About half of voters picked their candidate in 2004 based on what they absorbed from endless hours of television. Another 17% of people favored newspapers for political info, but that audience gets a little smaller and a little older each year. The internet may have helped Howard Dean raise a bunch of money in 2004, but it didn't do too much to win votes. Only about 5% of people got their candidate information online. The pundits like to portray candidate debates as high drama that decides elections. But as you see, they really don't make much of an impression. Neither do friends and neighbors, no matter how heated the backyard debate. And are you listening, move on? Few people learn much from political advertisements. That big bar on my left represents people who sample several media sources to learn about candidates. But here's the catch. Corporate Republicans dominate every one of these venues. I've got a bad feeling about this. Any rumor or falsehood or opinion can now be magnified and sent blasting out on a dozen media outlets simultaneously. Citizens are thus convinced to support almost any policy, even ones against their best interests. This media cabal can simply ignore or destroy any politician perceived as a threat to the status quo. The cameras shut down and the candidate vanishes. Alternately, the media creates a scandal based on disinformation and repeats it dozens of times to destroy the person's credibility. No one opposed to White House policies is safe.
Americans are killing people ever since we stepped on as threatened Hillary Clinton with her.
While all this plotting and empire building has been going on, what have progressives been doing? Fighting to save wetlands, counting mercury in hair samples, marching in protest, and donating to charitable causes. These are all worthy endeavors, but they're undermined by the power of the media. While we put out individual fires, the conservative press is torching the same causes with ideological napalm. Right-wing radicals ring out from every radio, newspaper headline, and TV set in the land. Their victory is almost complete. It doesn't have to end this way. Progressives need a media strategy. The goal should be, first, to invest in and create a progressive media infrastructure. Second, to target apathy, to engage some of the 79 million eligible voters who didn't vote in 2004. And third, to support courageous journalism. It may not be too late to beat back the dark forces of propaganda. TV channels such as Free Speech TV and Link TV offer real-world alternatives to the disinformation of cable news and prepackaged local stories. On the radio, Air America now has more listeners than Rush Limbaugh in key age groups. The Nation, a progressive magazine, is gaining readership, while the New Republic, a militaristic rag, is losing readers fast. More than 1 million people watch the Jon Stewart Daily Show every night. That's twice the audience of Bill O'Reilly's daily helping of hate and humbug. Media can change the world. Don't surrender it to the dark side.